Wow, to say that Chanel Hall has had a rough life is an understatement. Um, she's an inspiration. In her 19 years of existence, she's gone through more than many of us, I believe, could bear. She was orphaned at the age of 3. Then she was abused by a loved one, became a teen mom by 15, homeless at 16. But she is here, she's winning, and we are so excited to speak with her. Good morning, Chanel.
Good morning.
Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Thanks for having
First
me.
of all, Chanel, why share your story? Because I find that there are a lot of people who undergo a lot like you have, but they don't want to share it. Tell them something this morning about the reason why Chanel is here.
Okay, so the reason why I shared my story was because no one else wanted to come out and say the story. So in Parliament, they needed someone to come and say it personally
Yeah.
to the Prime Minister and the government body itself. And there was
no one really who was willing to come out and speak because, they're still afraid. And
so I said, okay, let me do it. I'll do it. And I went there.
What has it been like? Because my experience with persons who, when they do speak, they find that there is support and love. Has that been your experience?
But yes, I've been getting a lot of support from especially my friends at school.
Wow.
And my friends in the different children's homes that I know, just all over, persons who I don't even know on social media is encouraging me. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to take you back a little bit. Might be a little rough, but I'm going to take you back a little bit. Orphaned at 3. What happened? What happened to your parents?
So both my parents, they died 1 year apart. The true story of why they died haven't been told to me as yet.
Okay.
Because my grandparents are the ones who really know the true story. The last time I saw them, they told me I was too young to know why my parents had died.
Okay.
So I've left.
So that's an open book for you.
Yes.
There's no closure quite yet
No.
on why that happened. So you're orphaned and you went to live with your grandparents.
Yes.
The abuse started at age 10.
No.
Okay.
The abuse started at about age 5.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. But it was at 10 that you realized what was happening? Tell me.
At 10, I spoke about it to our aunt.
Oh,
Yes.
man. So for 5 years, I don't even know what to say to you, Chanel, because it's difficult when the people that you are expecting to protect you are the people that are the ones that are harming you. And at 10 is a very young age. You spoke to your aunt. Did she give you support?
Yes, she did, and she was also in the situation that
So
I was
she
in.
knew
So
she knew that was a real issue.
Yes,
Having
so
gone
that's
through
why
it
she kept
herself.
on asking me every time she saw me. She asked, but I was confused because I was so young. I didn't really know what was happening until I actually tell her, and then she said, "This is what's happening. He did it to me too, and it's wrong. This is what it is," and she explained to me. And that was when I kind of realized that this was something wrong.
What did you do after that, having realized? Did your aunt make a report for you? Did you?
Yeah, my aunt, she called Sosoka, and they did the report, and we went there and the process began.
Process began. What changed for you after that? Because sometimes, I spoke to a young lady and she was like, I was at home and I was pulled from home. It was confusion. I didn't know what was happening. Was that the
Well,
same thing for you?
For me, I believe it was a new chapter. I lost most of my family, but it
Because
was,
they felt you shouldn't have said anything.
yes, they didn't really believe. Yeah, and so I lost that side, but it was the beginning of something better, greater, and I don't regret anything, and I'm so happy, and I'm happy I have this story, so I can tell others, and I have a journey that was worth going on.
Yeah. You got pregnant at 15?
Yes.
Must have said to yourself, oh boy, here we go again. Life is coming at me one more time. How did you overcome that? Because I know the Women's Center Foundation, I have to big them up this morning of Jamaica.
Yes,
They do
definitely.
yeoman service in getting adolescent mothers back in school.
Yes.
What was your approach, Chanel, finding out that this is another thing that's happening in my life?
Well, when I found out I was pregnant, I said, oh boy, another disappointment, proving some persons right.
Yes.
But then I said, this is not even a blockage or a downfall for me. This is not a downfall. This is a spring to build me up, to make me go further. And so I told everyone, I told my family, I wasn't hiding it or anything. And then they helped me out. My father's side helped me out. And I went to Women's Center.
Yes.
And while going to Women's Center, I could remember the counselor, Miss Dunn, nurse, everybody there, they were so supportive. And one thing that really helped me was other persons with the same story who I saw what they have become, and when they came back and tell their story, it was so motivating that I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up. I just saw myself in them.
Yeah. You made your presentation to Parliament. What are you hoping that our leaders will do, that Jamaicans will do, to protect young girls like yourself?
Okay, so what I'm hoping that they will do, firstly, I hope that they listened. I hope that they don't just let that day be another day in Parliament. I hope that they really sit down and listen and put things in place to really help us, or to even better prevent things like this happening. Sometimes it seems like there's nothing they can do because it's inside the family, and you believe that the family is the first thing that will protect the children inside. But there are things that can really be put in place. I think if they just ask persons, if they don't even want to come out with it publicly, they can sit and have a conference with persons who have been through these things and ask what they think could be done, what they think can be done to prevent other persons from going through this situation.
What do you think are some of the things that can be done?
Well, I think the government could have a social media app that the young persons, teenagers, that they could correspond with persons based on what is happening.
Yeah.
Like
people
the
they feel
UNICEF,
comfortable with.
like UNICEF, they have a Talk Up Youth text message where they can talk about depression, if they're going through depression. But the government can have a different poll where you can say, this is happening to me in my household. I need help. How can I get the help? And you correspond back with them.
Provide information, keep in touch, and get that going.
With every youth, because social media, who's not on it? Which
Right.
teenager is not on it on social media?
Well, Shani, let me tell you something. To all the young girls who are listening this morning, I'm sure that you have raised something, given them some kind of glimmer of hope that this is still a place that we want to protect our children, and that they must demand that that is done for them. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing your story and for being with us. Amazing young lady, Chanel Hall, sharing her inspiring story. Listen to it and make it count.